When asked to preview the goopery, gaggery, and all-out tomfoolery, and maybe even some rigomoris, of RuPaul's Drag Race Season 16, contestant Nymphia Wind simply grips her chair, vibrates a little, jerks her head back and forth, whips her hair, and squeals what, in a guttural trance. Very that, the Taiwanese queen tells EW, settling back into her seat, knowing her temporary moment of demonic possession spoke more for the season ahead than words ever could. As fun as Nymphia's assessment is, her fellow queens elaborate on the twists and turns in store for the 14 new contestants set to compete on the main stage, and it sounds like the workroom is going to get spicier than ever for Drag Race's Sweet Season 16. Rotted, mean, fun, Brooklyn-based performer Dawn sums up of Season 16, licking her finger for extra emphasis. There will be tears, apologies, non-apologies, and maybe even a bitch slap or two. Just kidding. Or is she? Get ready for a lot of shade. I don't want to say backstabbery, I'm trying to think of a cuter word, that's bad. Okay, well, there's a lot of that. There's a lot of going for the throat, adds Mirage, a Las Vegas showgirl reared on the legendary Las Vegas stages of Piranha next to Yara Sofia and Anetra. There's a lot of honesty. We're very honest with each other about the things that we dislike about each other's faces and bodies. In other words, Untucked is about to be epic, but so are the twists to the format. They shook us to the left and then shook us back to the right, and then dropped us, says Hershey Iliq Courgette, drag sister to Season 14's legendary Cornbread, says, while New York City's Megami offers perhaps the most exciting insight yet into the alteration to Drag Race's signature format that looks to the past as much as it sets the main stage for a new future for its competing queens. For the twists and turns, we're bringing some good old Drag Race classics back that the fans have kind of been asking for, but also, there's a few new ones. It's a good mix, Megami explains. Regardless of being on it, this is my favorite show of all time. I am an internet goblin for this show, on Reddit and everything. This is going to be a fan favorite season. The cast is so FING amazing. We literally all came out the gate gunning for this prize. It's an intense season, but also probably one of the best Drag Race has ever put on. I say that as a fan and Redditor myself. RuPaul's Drag Race Season 16 premieres Friday, January 5th at 8 p.m. on MTV. Watch EW's exclusive interviews with the new queens ahead, a mandatory meeting. When you come to an Amanda Tori meeting show, prepare for two things: you'll probably get a boner, she promises. But, you also might get robbed. The fun of exploring Amanda's repertoire of kooky comedy slicked up in 80s pop star glitz is not knowing what you're in for. The New York City queen looks like a dolled-up executive primed to swindle your savings by a charm and a multi-million-dollar investment scandal, while underneath she's ready to show her smutty side. I basically just think, what would make my mother blush? Amanda explains to EW of her approach to the craft, which, in the past, included a Barbarella-inspired photo shoot in which she held a ray gun made from her personal dildo, to an epic mix on stage where she, farted along to a medley of Britney Spears' Oops, I Did It Again, Kesha's Blow, and audio from the infamously vile bathroom scene from Bridesmaids. Such a number is an apt showcase for her wide-ranging interests in drag. She calls herself bisexual and bicoastal, after having lived and worked in Los Angeles before planting herself in New York. But even that descriptor is a bit, she's not really bisexual, but she'll sacrifice her credibility to put a smile on your face, because she's a stage-reared performer at heart. With both live vocal prowess and theatrical experience, she proudly reveals that she played Angel No. 3 in a touring production of Kinky Boots. You might think Amanda is coming for the BFA weaponizer crown, but she balks at the thought. I'm a reformed theater girl, she stresses. I'm more like the BFA dissector. Put it back together in hot glue, in a different formation, so it's more like an AFB. And what does AFB stand for? Absolutely F-able, but, she reveals, because, in Amanda's executorial agenda, of course it does. Dawn. A new dawn is upon us, and Season 16's resident weirdo isn't sure whether you should be excited or terrified. Am I evil or am I fun? I don't know. Chaotic? I'll take that, the Brooklyn-based queen tells EW, after she was informed that several castmates labeled her a nefarious presence haunting the episodes ahead. I think this cast is giving evil and fun, but never nasty. We all are sisters, we love each other very, very much, but we know how to poke and prod and have some fun together. Geneva Carr. Geneva Carr's excellence is so thick, you can literally trace your finger through it or in her leg hair. Sometimes it takes an hour per stem, sometimes two, but Geneva is committed to the craft of styling her furry limbs with hair gel. One day I was like, what if I could just, style it and make it kind of fashion, she muses to EW. For any given show, it's done up in spikes. For other occasions, it might be ocean waves and butterflies. No matter what shape she chooses, it rounds out her signature aesthetic that challenges everything you think you know about pageant queens. Hershey Liq Courgette. Hershey Liq Courgette is living her American dream. From competing in her first drag show in St. Louis with a $1 eyeshadow palette to conquering new digital frontiers, she has 2.7 million likes on TikTok, and holding court on mainstream stages of Los Angeles where she is raising 2 children with her partner. Hershey has fought for her place in the spotlight. Megumi. Megumi is an artist caught between 2 worlds or maybe even multiple universes, at this point. Self-described as New York City's thick Latina cosplay goddess, the Brooklyn native is fine with labels, as she's planted herself firmly and beautifully within several different demographics, on Earth or otherwise.